Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A, and today the battle of the neutral palettes. I have taken two of the finest and they are side by side. This one is newly released from Urban Decay. This is the Ultimate Basics palette that just came out. The price on this one I believe was $54. And this is the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D, and I believe the price was also $54 on this. So we are going to do these side by side. This morning I did, on this side, I used the Shade and Light palette, which is a basic neutral palette, and this is the Naked Ultimate Basics palette. So you can see there's a lot of similar colors in here. This one seems to have a lot more on the get-go. This one has a few colors thrown in. There's a blue, a purple color, and a paler kind of mauve-y color in there that this does not contain. This is like a neutral palette, a cool tone palette, and a warm palette here. There is a basic eye shade, a crease shade, and a corner shade in each of the quadrants. There's 3 quadrants here. And in this one you have, these are all mattes except for this particular color here on the top. This one has a slight sheen to it, which I was actually disappointed because I wanted that one to be my lid color, and I don't like to have a satin lid color when I'm doing an all over lid look. So when I did these side by side, I obviously, since I use this every day, I thought this would be the winner. I thought this would be the one that I loved. And I have, it is now 6:30 in the evening. I put my makeup on at 6:15 this morning. So it's been 12 hours that I've had this eye makeup on. I have not retouched it on either side. And I'll have to say that both sides weathered the storm really well. It was very hot, very cold. I had hot flashes. We have on this side the Naked Basics. I used similar colors from the palette on this side, and I used my blush as just in the corner here. So both of them performed really well. Believe it or not, this one blended better. It blended easier. The eye look was much more natural and came together much easier than this side. So on formula and blendability, this one had great pigment, but it did not have the blendability that the Naked Basics had. So it actually lost to the Naked Basics for a good basic eye. Now the color combinations, I thought this had a few more in here for assortment. But actually, because of the way this is situated, we have a lot more options here for different eye looks. So if you don't yet have this palette, I would highly recommend this one. This one has 12 shades, but you have additional colors in here. And I would say probably maybe one less of a neutral color that they would have had. But you've got a nice neutral khaki gray color, and you've got a cool tone and a warm tone mid-shade brown, which is perfect for the crease. And I really like that. And you've got a nice warm autumny brown shade, which you can use for a lot of autumn looks. Really, really pretty. Staying power is unbelievable. I mean, it has been 12 hours and it has not moved. Now I really like this yellow. I wound up using that as my base color, and this light shimmer color you can use. It's perfect for your inner corner, and if you want to pop up any of the other colors with it. I really liked the idea of this dark plum. I thought it was very, very pretty. And it was subtle. I think this reminds me a lot of back when IT Cosmetics had the pretty palette. They're very similar in color to that. I have seen people compare this to the Beasuty Treats from Five Below, because the colors look like they would be similar. And this one is like a $2 or $3 palette. Although they look similar, they do swatch slightly more sheer and slightly lighter than these colors do. Side by side, they are not alike. Let's just take this color, for instance, because it looks like it would be close to, and now let's take the same color in the Naked Basics palette. You can see that, so you can see that this color here and this color here, when you swatch them side by side, you can see the difference. Even though this even appears to be darker, it's lighter, it's sheerer, it doesn't have the pigment. This one doesn't have the lasting power, and I think that when you get a cheaper palette like this, it's very nice. When it first goes on, you can actually make a really decent eye look from this, but it doesn't last very long. And after about 4 hours, if you go in for your lunch break or something, have a look in the bathroom, you're going to wonder where your eyeshadow went, because your eyes are constantly moving, and as you blink, it's almost like you're rubbing your eye each time you blink. And with these, they just don't have the pigmentation to carry it off so that they can last a long time. So my argument with this is, yeah, maybe you can do a similar eye look to this particular palette, and this is only $2, so, and this is like $50 more. So why wouldn't you get this? Well, after 4 hours, I want to see my eyeshadow, and this is after 12 hours, and I'm seeing my eyeshadow. There's a really nice assortment of colors here. I think that the blue, it's a subtle blue. It's a very pretty kind of gray blue. The lavender is a very subtle, again, very pretty alternate. And then you've got this darker color. And then the muted black, which is, it's a soft black. This makes a beautiful smoky eye, and also because of the colors, you can change up the look slightly for it. So it's a great basic palette. The brush that comes with it, I really enjoyed this. One end is good for lining. You can like line under your eyes with it. You can also cut your crease, as they used to say in the old days. You can cut your crease with it. I'm very pleased with it, and I know that some people like to look at the ingredients lists and they'll say, oh, well, there's this ingredient and that ingredient that wasn't in the smaller basics, Naked Basics palette, so it's very different. These are manufactured different. The packaging is wonderful. It's a plastic packaging. It's got a raised sunbeam kind of feel to it, really, really quality feel to it. And it's a very magnetized enclosure, so you can open it up, but it stays tight enough that it's not going to open on itself. So this palette is wonderful. Now, as comparing it to Shade and Light from Kat Von D, I actually prefer this for the eye look that it created and the ease in which it blended. It took a little more effort to blend with these, and I use this palette every day. I mean, I love it. I love this palette. I think it's a wonderful palette. I think the eyeshadows lasted for 12 hours. They haven't budged, and I love the idea of having a warm, a cool, and a neutral toned quadrant. This is my second one. I will buy a third one too. I love this palette. And as far as this goes, from the Five Below, yeah, you can create a neutral look again, but you're not going to get the longevity. Really is just a marvelous thing, and I think if you don't have a good neutral palette such as the Shade and Light, that this would be a really nice investment for you. It's a good all-around, all-purpose palette, and I like it. I think it's a wonderful thing. As far as Kat Von D goes, I just want to show you the magic of Kat Von D. She did the actual template for this, and you can see it says M-A-T-T-E. Well, look at this. All I did was tip it over, and it says metal. It's not a hologram, it's the way it's actually drawn. The letters are actually drawn, so it says matte and metal. Isn't that clever? And I'm telling you, oh my gosh. Now, I haven't had time to play with this palette yet, but you can see you've got all your basic eye neutrals here. There are 9 foily kind of metallic shades, and then There are 13 shades here that are all matte. Some of them are bolder colors and some of them are your good basics. Right in this corner here you've got a good basic eye, got a nice yellow and pink here. And then you've got these nice beautiful dark and bold colors, and you've got a nice white and a black. And then up in here you've got these gorgeous metallic, let me just, foily kind of things. I can't wait to play with this. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's got a wonderful assortment. So you've got your metal, very, very strong evening shades, and then you've got your basic colors for your basic eye, your light, your medium, and your dark for your basic everyday eye. But all these fun colors, and I love to see a purple, a green, and a blue in the same palette. And also there is a kind of a dark gray here as well. Absolutely the perfect, to me it's a perfect palette when you've got your three main eye colors and you've got those blue, gray, green, and purple right there. Then you've got a couple of intermediate transition shades. You've got that pretty for the color bar. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to play with this. Okay, so once I played with this for a little bit, I will do a full review on it, but this is the MetalMatte palette from Kat Von D. It was just released. It was put on Sephora, the website, on the 26th, and I saw it just by happenstance. And I'm a rouge, so I picked it up first thing. It just arrived on my doorstep, so I haven't had time to play with it yet. Yeah, I'm all excited about this, and I think that, you know, as far as neutral palettes, I think Urban Decay's Ultimate Basics is a wonderful all-purpose palette to have in your collection. And then for the colors, so far, I think this is all you're going to need for your colors. I mean, you've got pretty much everything there. Beautiful aquas and greens. You've got some nice tans and mustards. Some purples. Oh my goodness. And look at this blue. Ooh. Oh my. Yeah, okay. And let me just do this one on this side. Yeah, and with my finger to boot. Yep. So I'm going to have fun playing with this, and I will do a full report for you on it. So far so good though, I'm telling you, I'm just wicked excited. One thing I did notice though is that none of my samples came with this, only this came in the box, so I think it's being shipped from a different location. None of the samples, you know how you pick 3 samples online. So if anybody else ordered this and they didn't get theirs, let me know. I have used this as a standby now for 2 years since it came out for the first time. This is my second one, and I'm already getting down in some of the colors. But this is the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. And then what just came out and what we are reviewing today is the Naked Ultimate Basics palette from Urban Decay. And I do very much like this, and it's got my approval, and you know how picky I am. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.